Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and good morning to each and everyone. We are Group 5 and we are going to report the Lesson 2, Media Codes, Conventions, and Messages. But before I start, let me introduce myself. I am Siti Asha Kami. So, let me define what is a media language. So, a language is the method of human communication. It is either spoken or written. So when there is a communication, there is a language. So when we say media languages, these are codes, conventions, formats, symbols, and narrative structures that indicate the meaning of media messages to an audience. So let me define what is code. Codes are systems of signs. When put together, it create a meaning. So there are three types of codes: symbolic codes, technical codes, and written codes. So the first one is symbolic code. It includes the language, dress, or actions of characters or iconic symbols that are easily understood. These codes show what is beneath the surface of what we see, such as objects, setting, body language, clothing, and color. So, symbolic codes, ito yung nakikita natin sa labas ng mga signs or mga symbols. Like for example, red rose, it symbolizes love or romance. Clenched fist may convey anger, or dove symbolizes peace. So that is what we call symbolic codes. Symbolic codes include setting, mise en scene, acting, and color. So the first one is setting. Setting is the time and place of the narrative. A setting can be as big as the galaxy or space, or as small as a specific room. Setting can be a created atmosphere or frame of mind. So remember, your setting must always fit your message. For example, if you want to portray a horror scene in your video, then the setting should look creepy.
Mise-en-scène means everything within the frame. In media terms, it has become to mean the description of all the objects within a frame of the media product and how they have been arranged. An analysis of mise-en-scène includes set design, costumes, props, and staging and composition. Means mise-en-scène. Sa mga termino ng media, ito ay naging upang mga hulugan ng paglalarawan ng lahat ng mga bagay sa loob ng isang frame ng produkto ng media at kung paano sila naisaayos. Isang pagsusuri ng mise-en-scène ay kinabibilangan ng set design, costume, props, at staging at composition. Acting. Actors portray characters in media product and contribute to character development, creating tension or advancing the narrative. The actor portrays a character through facial expression, body language, vocal qualities, movement, and body contact. Means ang mga aktor ay naglalarawan ng mga tauhan sa mga produkto ng media at nag-aambag sa pag-unlad ng pagkatao, paglikha ng tensyon o pagsulong ng salaysay. Ang aktor ay nagpapakita ng isang karakter sa pamamagitan ng facial expression like happy, anger, disgust, fear, body language, like sign, vocal qualities, movement, paggalaw, body contact. Thank you. Color has highly cultural and strong connotation. When studying the use of color in a media product, the different aspects to be looked at are dominant color, contrasting foils, and color symbolism. Dominant color is achieved when one color serves as the focal point in a photo. Contrasting foils can be used to draw the audience eye to something in the frame by using contrasting or complementary colors. Color symbolism is the use of color as a representation or meaning of. Example, red means passion, love, anger. Yellow, happiness, hope, deceit. Green, new beginnings, abundance, and nature. And lastly, orange means energy, happiness, and vitality.
Hi, I am Hanadi Abdulaziz. So I'm going to report is technical codes. Technical codes are the various tools and techniques used in visual media such as films, photographs, and videos to create specific effects and communicate emotions, moods, and ideas to the audience. Some example of technical codes mentioned in the passage include sound, camera angles, types of shots, and lighting. For example, omnius music can be used in a feature film to create a sense of danger or suspense, while high-angle camera shots in a photograph can make the subject appear more powerful or dominant. In summary, technical codes are essential tools used in visual media to create specific effects and communicate emotions, moods, and ideas to the audience. One of the types of technical codes is camera work. It is one of the most crucial aspects of technical codes in media. It refers to how the camera is operated, positioned, and moved to create specific visual effects. Camera includes positioning the camera, moving it, framing the shot, adjusting the exposure, and choosing the right lens. The camera's positioning and movement can help create different perspectives and viewpoints for the audience. For instance, a low angle shot can make the subject appear more powerful or dominant, while a high angle shot can make them seem more vulnerable. Camera movement can also be used to create a sense of motion or change in the scene. So framing is another important aspect of camera work. It involves deciding what include in the shot and how to highlight or focus on specific elements. The exposure refers to the amount of light that enters the camera and can be used to control the brightness and contrast of image. So lens choice can play a significant role in creating specific effects in visual media. Different lenses can create different looks such as wide angle lens for capturing expensive landscape or a telephoto lens for capturing distant object.
Editing is the process of choosing, manipulating, and arranging images and sound. Audio is the expressive or naturalistic use of sound. That the three aspects of audio are dialogue, sound effects, and music.
Lighting is the manipulation of natural or artificial light to selectively highlight the specific elements of the scene. Elements of the lighting include quality, direction, source, and color. So lighting or illumination is the deliberate use of light to achieve practical or aesthetic effect. Lighting includes the use of both artificial light source like a lamps, light, and fixtures. Lighting includes the use of both artificial light source like a lamps, light, and fixtures, as well as natural illumination by capturing daylight. Writing codes are formal writing language used in a media product, and also writing codes include our formal writing language used in media product just like a technical and symbolic codes. Writing codes can be used to advance narrative communicate information about the character or issues in the media product. Printed language which is the text you can see within the frame in how it's being presented. Spoken language which is include dialogue in song and lyrics. And also, spoken language is a language produced by articulate sound or manual gestures as opposed to a written language. An oral language or vocal language is a language produced with the vocal tract and contrast with the sign language which is produced with the body in hands.
Hello everyone, it's me, Baginda Junaid. Convention are accepted ways using media codes. Convention are closely connected to the audience expectation of a media product. Different type of convention include form convention, story convention, and genre convention. We use convention to make our writing more readable. In other words, we do things in a certain way so the reader can figure out what we're trying to say. Convention includes spelling, punctuation, capitalization, grammar, and sentence structure. And what is a form convention? Are the certain way we accept type of media code to be arranged. For instance, an audience expect to have a title of the film at the beginning and the credit at the end. Newspaper will have the headline or the most important news on the front page and sport news on the back page. Video game usually start with a tutorial to explain the mechanics of how to game work. And form of convention are the certain way we expect type of media codes to be arranged. For instance, an audience expect to have a title of the film at the beginning and then credit at the end. Newspaper will have the most important news on the front page and the sport news on the back page.
I'm Haifa Muhammad, and here are other convention in media. The story convention. Story convention are common narrative structure and understanding that are common in storytelling media products. Story convention is simply refers to the basic structure of narratives. It is about how the story being told, how is the story being relayed to the audience. Some story convention in media include, for example, especially here in the Philippines, at the very beginning, there is an underdog and you know that towards the end of the movie, the underdog will rise up and become very successful. Another good example of story convention is when you are watching romantic movies and you know that two main characters see eye to eye, that could mean love average sight. Similarly, in murder mystery movies, you would notice that the story would often flow from a small gathering or a gathering of people or characters and then suddenly someone dies or something bad happens. And then all of these people would work together to try and solve the case and then eventually you would find out that it's one of them who have done the dirty deed.
And I am Sarana starting. Genre convention point to the common use of image, characters, setting, or themes in a particular type of medium. Genre convention are closely linked with audience expectation. Genre convention can be formal or thematic. Also, genre convention are rules, tropes, and characteristics that define particular genre of literature, film, music, or other media. For example, the convention of a romantic comedy may include a made cute, misunderstanding, and happy ending. The convention of a horror movie may include jump scares, menacing antagonists in a dark and foreboding setting. While adhering to genre convention can provide a sense of comfort and familiarity for audience, it can also limit creativity and stunt innovation. Some critics argue that to strike adherence to genre convention can lead to formulaic and predictable work that lack originality. On the other hand, Some artists and creators intentionally subvert or play with genre convention to create unexpected and innovative work. This, this can lead to new subgenres being formed or existing genre being redefined. Ultimately, the use of genre convention is a balancing act. Creators must balance the expectation of their audience with their own creative vision in incor- incorporating in a familiar element to satisfy audience while also adding unique and original touches to create a memorable and impactful work.